Hello beautiful people, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new here, I'm Jordan, nice to meet you. Today's video is a speed build. I did a family home in Willow Creek, slightly inspired by the fact that it's cold as shit outside now. As always, this home will be available on the gallery. I will link my Origin ID or EA desktop app ID? I don't know what it's called anymore. Whatever it's called, I will link it in the description down below, but please enjoy the video. Hi guys, welcome back to another speed build. Today we are in Willow Creek. I almost forgot where I was for a second. On Potter's Splay? I don't know. I believe it's a 30 by 20 lot, and we are doing a sort of Craftsman style family home, I guess. I was definitely inspired by the fact that it is officially no longer summer here in Canada. It is cold, it is raining, it's cloudy, and I'm kind of loving it. So I kind of wanted to go with like a sort of cozy theme, I guess, for the house. It ends up being 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, I want to say. Pretty nice backyard there. We end up getting a garage in, and as well a treehouse, which I don't think I've ever done before. Maybe once or twice, but yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. But as you can see, the outside of the house is kind of coming together. It's pretty simple in the actual shape. It's pretty much just a box. I actually was slightly inspired by a photo I saw on Instagram. But the actual front of the house had a bunch of palm trees, and it was a little bit different, but the main shape is pretty much the same. But I think like climate-wise, I had to switch things up because I feel like having a bunch of palm trees in Willow Creek just looks a little bit odd sometimes. Oh, and then you can see there, I was trying to adjust the roofing a bit so it wasn't clipping as much, but it ended up not making that much of a difference. So I ended up just pulling that front little, what are those called? Gables? I don't know. Pulled the front gable thing out a bit. So if you look at it from the side, it kind of sticks out a bit, but I just feel like it looked a little bit better. I don't know. The garage door is from City Living. That's the one you can paint a mural on, I believe. I hope it's that one. I don't know. That's pretty cool. I really wish we had cars in the game, but you know, I feel like we're like 10 years in now and it hasn't happened yet. We are getting new skin tones. That's exciting. They announced today actually that they are updating the skin tones with a slider as well as the makeup with a slider. I mean, I feel like this should have been done in the first place, but you know what? So much negativity going on anyways. Let's just be thankful that something good is happening. Moving into landscaping, I kept it pretty simple. I think I just get some hedges around the house. I cut a lot of footage out just because this was getting a little bit long for some reason. I also built this like a week or two ago, and I feel like it took me a long time. I can't really remember, but I was like editing the footage. I was like, why is this so long? I struggled with paint colors. You can see there I edited some stuff out. I don't know, I was just having some difficulties. Again, I remember looking at the reference photo for this house and it was all white. And I think I mentioned this in my last video, but when you do houses that are like all white or all black in The Sims, it just doesn't look right. So I change it. Ooh, I really loved those columns that I put beside the doors. They end up having to change because I made the house too small, so I had to increase everything by like 1 tile, and then I couldn't place those columns anymore, and I was really sad. I think you can see me struggle with them in a bit, but yeah, an idea for anyone who wants to try that out. I think it just makes it look a little bit more architecturally interesting. Maybe more like period. I feel like this house was like an old house that they renovated. And I tried desperately not to use the eco lifestyle floors, which I didn't, but I always use them and I really just wanted to switch it up. So yeah, here where you're doing the fireplace, I ended up using that fireplace that is not actually a fireplace, that one right there. Then you can just put candles in it. And I don't actually remember, is that a base game update? I don't even know. I don't really use it that often because I love the look of an actual fireplace, and in game too, like gameplay, I really love having a fireplace. I just feel like I always have them on. But yeah, switched it up. I think we end up, the whole theme of this house is, it ends up being quite chic. Is that the right word? I don't know. Kind of bougie, a little bit. I don't know. lots of like jewel tones, and we get some like dark greens going on. I don't know, it's something that I wouldn't normally build, or something I wouldn't normally decorate in this style. Does that make any sense? I have no idea. You get what I mean. I wouldn't normally decorate in this style. I do like doing like Craftsman style or like suburban homes, but from an interior perspective, it's a little too fancy for me. But is it though? I actually, maybe just not my taste, but yeah. So you can see here I'm filtering through the green colors because I can't tell what's green and what's not. But yeah, we got that dark green wall, which I thought was really nice. I think green is pretty in right now, and it seemed like a good fall color. When I took the screenshots, I switched over to fall. Do you call it fall where you're from? In North America, or at least in Canada, I don't know about the US. Yeah, I think we call it fall. But I know everywhere else in the world calls it autumn, which sounds a lot nicer. But for some reason we just call it fall. Just like straight to the point, the leaves are falling, so the whole season's just called fall. Seems a little bit lazy if you ask me, but yeah, so living room's coming together. I actually really like how this room turned out, and I really love those mirrors. Those are from Glamour Life? Is that what it's called? Glamour Lifestyle? I don't know. The pack with the butler. It's a stuff pack. I use the curtains from there as well. Those ones are not the ones, but I think the ones we use in the more less formal family room, we use the curtains from there. And those couches are from Tiny Living, which great stuff pack. Lots of good stuff in there. But yeah, we are just moving into the dining room. Kept it pretty simple with the table. Those chairs are from Cats and Dogs. I believe those curtains are also from Cats and Dogs. I could be wrong. And then I realized those windows were completely not the same height whatsoever. That's the only problem with when you're alt placing windows. Sometimes it's hard to line up. I guess I could have turned the grid on. No, that wouldn't make a difference, would it? I don't know. You just kind of gotta eyeball it, but sometimes it's not even, and I can be a little bit of a perfectionist sometimes when it comes to building. So I love having the little room in between the kitchen and the dining room that you see there. This is very common in houses, but I love those little rooms. You can just store all like your appliances in there. I got a bar in there. I feel like it'd be really handy to have in real life. So if you don't want your kitchen like cluttered, you can just shove all your shit in that little room. I think they're actually called butler pantries. And there's like a second kitchen usually. But yeah, as you can see, I just feel like it looks a little, I wouldn't say like fancy actually. It just, I don't know. It's a different style than I'm maybe used to. Like this would be like an acquired taste, I feel. Like not for everyone, but I think it works well. Maybe the Sims are like slightly wealthy and they just renovate properties or something. Or this was like a family home that they like took over and then renovated. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff from, I should probably figure out what the name of that pack is. The Glamour something pack. I use a lot of stuff from there. So if you do plan on downloading this house, probably suggest that you have that pack. I actually really like that one too. I feel like I use this stuff quite a bit. Maybe not actually. I don't know. Who knows? I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I was just at work all day for 8 hours, so the brain is slightly mushed. This is my first time having like an adult full-time job, so adjusting. But I really wanted to be able to still build and play The Sims, and we're making it work. I'm a little tired, but it's okay. That's what coffee's for. I also have been recently trying to decide if I want to stop drinking coffee. I don't think that's possible, but one day I want to try matcha or something and just see if it makes a difference. I don't know. I just feel like drinking as much coffee as I do is probably not good for me. But yes, working on this little nook. It ends up just being bookcases. I wasn't really sure where I was going with that, but I think it ends up being pretty nice. Those are just overhead cabinets that you, using the 0 and 9 key, you can just move them up and down the wall. And I use them as kind of like, I guess, counters or cabinets or whatever, just to make it kind of look like it's all built in, which I thought was kind of nice and different. So yeah, this is the not so formal living room, family room, I guess. I tried desperately to make an L-shaped couch. I know there's a way to do it. I couldn't remember what couch people use normally, so I just kind of... And the space is kind of small anyway, so I end up just using one couch, and I think I get a chair in there too. But yeah, it's coming together now. I can't remember even what couch I use. I want to say it's like a kind of burnt orangey color. It's not those ones. I switched them out at some point. Yeah, I haven't filmed a voiceover in a long time, and I forgot how difficult it is to just continuously talk for however long this video is. 20 minutes, 20 something minutes. That's a long time to just ramble on for. I don't know how people do this like every day. You definitely run out of things to talk about. It's helpful when there's drama in the Sims community, and if you have Twitter and you're in that scene, it's been interesting lately. I feel like something new happens every day. I don't know, people like to complain about EA a lot, which is fair. I mean, can't always be happy, but I still like the game. So kitchen, as you can see, it just kind of jumped and all the cabinets were there. I cut a lot of it out because I went through so many variations of it, and this video would have been like 10 hours long and it would have been a little boring. But essentially the kitchen ends up changing again. Like when I went back to do the screenshots, I just wasn't loving it. The cabinets stay and there is still a blue swatch, but I think I changed some of them to sort of that medium orangey brown color. I think the island stays blue and then the rest. I really just wanted to use that fridge. I thought that was such a nice color and I've never used it before, so I was like, I would love to use this blue. And I feel like maybe the kitchen was part of the house that they didn't quite renovate or something. It just, I don't know, it's a little different from the rest. And here we are diving into the treehouse. So I was just placing the tree to see if, like, placement of like where it should be and how big. And then I used a ladder. I want to say I used the base game ladder. I hope I did. If I accidentally use the Eco Lifestyle one and you don't have that pack, you can just swap out the ladder because there is one that came with the update. But yeah, the treehouse is pretty small. Those wallpapers are from Island Living. Love those wood walls that kind of look a little bit rugged. They come in a lot of bright colors, so I just went with the red one, but I thought it was nice. So yeah, this is kind of just like a kid's hangout room. I always wanted a treehouse when I was growing up, like desperately. And I feel like my house when I was like younger had the perfect tree, but we just never, and I remember me and both my sisters all just begged and begged and begged for a treehouse, but we never got one. It's very sad. I think we had like a playhouse that was like next to the tree. My dad was like, yeah, it's a treehouse. Close enough. But yeah, the backyard itself is pretty simple. There's no pool or anything. I just got some like chairs. I actually really love how the garage turned out. I love doing garages. Is that weird? I just feel like there's so many activities you can put into garages. So even though we don't have cars, I feel like it's still nice to have that extra room because for skill building, like actual gameplay, it's really handy to have. I think I changed the color of of the outdoor furniture. Yes, I do. All of that is from Seasons as well. And that little candle, the citronella candle, which keeps away mosquitoes, is from backyard stuff. Yeah, now I think we're moving into the garage a bit. Oh yeah, for landscaping over here, I was gonna try to put like a hedge there, but I was like, oh, they can't reach the rake, so we just leave some like overgrown flowers, and I thought it just looked nice. I don't know why it's so simple, but I thought it turned out pretty good. Yeah, putting in lighting. I find that all the outdoor like wall sconces, actually all the wall sconces, are so big. Like you literally have to size down everything. It's so interesting. Yeah, just getting some rock detailing around the sort of patio area. This took me so long. Through the magic of editing, it looks like I'm going so fast, but this was sped up like crazy. Like even compared to the rest of the speed build, this one clip I had to speed up like triple. It takes so long. I think it looks nice, but was it worth it? I'm not sure. I remember I like came back to the build after and like did it separately because I knew I wanted to do it, but I was just like, I need to take like a long break and then go back and do it. Oh yeah, I got a basketball hoop in there as well. I'm not sure if that was included in the exterior footage or not. But moving into the garage, we actually get a car, not inside, it goes on the outside. I don't think I filmed it though. I put it in after when I was doing the screenshots. And those are from Buy Debug. You can search for them, or you can go in the gallery and just search in cars and all of them will pop up as well. Oh yeah, I always find that when I'm doing like random rooms like this, I'll obviously, because I'm trying to find clutter items, I'll find all these random items that I've never even seen before, like those hanging wine glasses or whatever that I ended up putting in the little pantry thing. I'd never seen those before, and I think they're from Jungle Adventure. I never played that pack. I love all the items. That's actually another one that came with such good build and buy. Gameplay wasn't really interested, but I love... Okay, The Sims 2 Bon Voyage was one of my favorite packs of all time. Like, I know it was so basic, and I don't know if people liked it or not, but I loved sending my Sims on vacation. When I play actual gameplay, I love playing like Real Housewives style with like very wealthy Sims, and like sending them on vacation is just, I love it. Like when I played The Sims 2, which was definitely my favorite iteration of the series, I would always play with like Dina Caliente. Like she was my favorite character ever. Still to this day, she's just like a bad bitch, and she was in it for the money, and I don't know, she just love her. She's a great character. In The Sims 4 though, she's trash. Like I don't know who was thinking that they could just use their names to attract all the old people who used to play The Sims 2. That's literally what they did. The characters are not even the same. They just have the same names. It's stupid. It's very frustrating. And like the Dirk Dreamer and Dustin Broke that are like celebrities and get famous. Oof. That almost sent me over the edge. I was not happy. As someone who was like a diehard Sims 2 Pleasant View fan, that was very upsetting. I actually plan on one day eventually doing like a Pleasant View Let's Play. I know people do it a lot, but when I'm doing gameplay, I usually only have one save file, and it's always just recreations of Pleasant View. I just love it so much, and the storylines were so good. Like that's the peak of Sims to me, was those storylines. Yeah, sorry, just rambling for a bit, but we are now upstairs. As you can see, I got lots of activities into the garage, but now we are moving into the master bedroom. We get a walk-in closet in this room as well, and the bathroom I thought was pretty nice. Trying to think of what else. I went through a lot of variations of this room too. I think I cut most of them out, but this was a very easy floor plan actually to work with. When you do just a basic box, usually the floor plan comes together quite nicely. It's when you start getting crazy with the exterior that the inside floor plan is very difficult. So if you're new to building, I highly suggest just boxing it out, or start with the floor plan. I think it's the easiest way. And then when you start getting a little more comfortable with it, then maybe start with the exterior. I always start with like the front wall. Does that make sense? Like the front exterior. I always start with that because I like to just make it look pretty, and then I try to work out the rest after. But this one worked out pretty nicely. Yeah, this bathroom, I was actually kind of inspired by my parents' bathroom. They have like this picture about their bathtub that's supposed to look like outside. I swear there's this like of Greece, and you're supposed to feel like you're in Greece. And I'm like, I don't know. Interesting choice, but my parents also didn't purchase it. I remember when they moved, it was just there, and they were like, oh, beautiful. So I get a painting above the bathtub that's like of water or like the ocean or something. And personally, I find that a little bit tacky, but to each their own. I mean, someone might think it's beautiful, so that's fine. Oh, that shelf is from Tiny Living. Love that shelf. Use it all the time. There's one that's like a kitchen version as well that I use quite often. Again, every video is just me just fangirling over Tiny Living. If you do not have Tiny Living, I suggest you go get it. I don't even build tiny houses. Maybe that's what I should do. Build a tiny house after all the I talk about tiny living. I should probably actually maybe build a tiny house, but we'll see. Moving into one of the kids' bedrooms. This one, maybe the kid is into computers or video games or something. I don't know. It's like a little bit messy. There's a lot of tech going on. So I figured they were into something like that. Yeah, probably video games actually. Oh yeah, we get like the cereal box with like the cans. It just reminded me of me when I was like in elementary school in like grade 5, and I would literally play The Sims for like 9 hours in my basement, and I wasn't allowed to drink pop, or I guess people call it soda. In Canada we call it pop. Everywhere else it's soda. We weren't allowed to drink pop except for on the weekends, and then I would literally sneak into the basement and play The Sims for hours on end and drink like 9 ginger ales and just be like bouncing off the walls. Good times, simpler times. But yeah, I actually really like this room. It's such a teenager room, I think. The dirty clothes on the floor. I really love doing teen rooms. Actually, kids' rooms in general, I think they get a little bit repetitive, but I think they're fun to do. In this room, I didn't want the furniture to be too matchy-matchy because I find it really rare that a teenager or a kid has like a super matchy bedroom. I don't think I did. I mean, maybe. If your parents have full control over it, then maybe, but I feel like once you get into like teenager years, you kind of design your bedroom yourself, so. I feel like I'm losing my voice a little bit. Doesn't do a voiceover for like 2 weeks and I'm officially losing my voice. Rough. But yeah, moving into the other bedroom, I thought this kid would be maybe a little bit younger, a little more feminine. It's cute, colorful. But yeah, this room is a little bit smaller, so it's just a single bed. But yeah, lots of bright colors. I think we get some toys in there too, so it's definitely probably for like a younger kid. But yeah, I think we are pretty much coming to the end of the video. There will be screenshots if you want to stay tuned. But thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Why hasn't he called me back? It's been 3